Wow.
back then. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing I think that you explained pretty well is I think a lot of people, they don't understand all of the options that they have to acquire rental properties, to acquire properties to invest in. I think we're in a really weird space right now because the rates went up,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like the property value has adjusted to the rate hike yet.
No.
Would you suggest people buying right now? Because it feels like it's kind of like, at least just, I'm not an expert like you, but from my perspective, it feels like it's probably the wrong time to buy.
So right now the market's a little funny, right? It is. Anybody buying a single family home, I will kind of hold off on that because
Right.
that's where you're going to see your biggest correction.
Yep.
Right. As far as rental properties, multifamilies, it's on fire. Like it's not going to stop because rents are up so high, right?
Right.
So I'll give you an example. Like a 3-family in Patterson, New Jersey, you probably get it right now for $500,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just simple numbers, right? Let's name account taxes. Say you get a 7%, right? Or maybe you buy the rate down and you get a 6%. Let's say it's $3,000.
What's the rate right now?
As of yesterday, it was like 6.9 for 30-year fix. For a 15-year, it was like 6.5.
Damn, it's crazy how
Yeah.
much it's jumped.
And then the adjustable was a little bit lower.
Right.
Yeah. So let's say right now you go to Patterson and let's say you get lucky, you buy the rate down, you get a property for $500,000. You buy that property. Let's say your mortgage, just round numbers, right? Not getting to all of it, right? Let's say it's $3,000 a month, right? The rates are lower, right? In that market, right? Your apartment, if it was a 3-family, you could get about $4,500 a month, right? So you actually make more money now when the rate is actually higher. When
Because
people don't
rents
understand
are
because
higher.
rents are so high. So now instead of getting $1,500 for that apartment, now I'm getting $2,500. So now I'm making $7,500 compared to making the $45,000.
Right.
Yeah, my mortgage is, let's say, $3,000 plus taxes, insurance, whatever that is. Say I'm at $5,000. Let's say all in. I'm still making $2,500 a month.
Yep.
So that's the difference.
Yeah. And like and you're in a place where you have tenants, so it's like if it ever corrects, you can refinance, right?
Yep.
If the rate goes down,
Yeah. To be honest with you, like the average rate, right? Normal rates have always been between 5 to 6.
Yeah,
right?
what happened recently was kind of like fake because they were trying to save the housing market from COVID, right?
Yeah. So it's like we got kind of spoiled.
For
right?
sure.
My first property that I bought, it was with a state loan back in 04, and my interest rate was 8%.
Wow.
The only difference was that back then, right, compared to now, the rates were high, but the rents didn't support the mortgage payment.
Yeah.
Now, the rents, even if you go on a single family, support whatever the payment is monthly because the rents are so high.
Yep.
So you can still cash flow in any market on the rental side.
So let's say let's say they've saved up 50 bands, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got 50K and they want to, they're making decent money. Let's say they're making, I don't know, $150,000 a year.
Yep.
Say they're in the six figures, the low six figures range, and they want to get into getting their first rental property. I know there's like tons of options for people to, whether it's a hard money loan, obviously there's a conventional loan. You mentioned the FHA loan earlier. If you're that person, what route are you taking to try to get that first property right in today's climate right now?
If you have no experience, right, I wouldn't do a flip and I wouldn't do a property to rehab. I would definitely get a rental that's cash flowing, right? That's what I would do, right? It all depends what program you want to use, right?
Right.
You could do FHA, right, and put 3.5% down. You could do a conventional product. I think conventional right now on a 2-family investment, you get away with putting 10% down.
Mm-hmm.
You could go stated, right? The stated program that kind of caused the bubble last time is back.
What is the stated thing?
So stated program now it's called, well, it's not called stated anymore. It's an asset-based loan, right? So meaning you don't have to show any tax returns.
Wow.
You put 15 to 20% rental income that the property is making.
So they'll pretty much, a stated loan is one in which they know that you're renting the property out because
Yep.
they have to be able to see the numbers make sense.
Yeah. So the numbers have to make sense. All you need is good credit, right? You need probably at least a 680 credit score. You need to show the money in the bank. It doesn't have to be seasoned. Somebody lets you borrow the money and you could just transfer it right over. It's not like a FHA product.
But they're not going to be like, yo, show us 2
Yeah.
years of your bank statements.
Yeah. It's not like that. You need an appraisal, title, the leases for the property, and that's it. You get a loan in 45 to 60 days.
Wow.
Which that program is very popular right now because a lot of people aren't qualifying for conventional financing.
Right.
So that program, everybody's using it right now.
Wow. And then for like a hard money loan or a line of credit situation, would you say that those are more the options you would go to if you need to make a flip on a property?
Yeah.
Because it's more of a short-term thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. As far as flipping properties, hard money is the way to go.
Yeah.
Right? Hard money right now, with experience, you're looking at 90% loan to value, 100% on the rehab, meaning you only got to put 10% down and they're going to give you all the rehab dollars.
For people who don't know what a hard money loan is, just kind of break it down.
So a hard money loan is pretty much private financing, right?
Yeah.
It's a way of moving quicker because when it comes to rehabbing properties, there is not a lot of options. It's either a hard money loan or a FHA 203K loan. FHA 203K loan, you have to live in the property.
Okay.
Hard money is pretty much for investors.
Yeah.
Right? It goes under an LLC. It doesn't appear on your personal credit report. Right? But you have to. It costs money, right?
Yeah, the interest rate's a lot higher.
It's a lot higher. It could be anywhere between 8 to 12%. But you move fast, right? In real estate, when you find a good deal, that's the whole thing. You need speed.
You need to have that cash ready.
That's it. So hard money is considered the same thing as cash. So when you go on an auction site and it tells you cash only, technically that means that you can also use hard money. It means the same thing.
Where do you because I know that like there's different types of hard money lenders, but like for people who have no idea how to find a hard money lender or how to even get involved in that world, like where's a good place to start with that?
Well, when I first started, it was a little bit harder, right? Because I got back in 08 when everything crashed. But now there's hard money lenders everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's hard money lenders everywhere. You could type in hard money lender on
Just on Google.
on Instagram, anywhere, and it pops up.
And then what they do is essentially they have their insurance is the property, right?
Yeah, so pretty much a hard money lender will not do a deal unless there's meat on the bone. It has to make sense, right? So for example, if you're trying to flip a property, right,
Yeah.
and it needs rehab, and it's worth $300,000, right, and you're paying $300,000, they're not going to do that deal. Because God forbid if you don't pay and they take the property away, there's no meat on the bone.
Yeah,
There's no profit.
They're going to break even. What's the point of them risking it?
Now, if that property if it's worth $300,000
But you got it for $220.
and you're all in,
Yeah.
with rehab, $220, they'll do that deal.
Yeah.
So pretty much a good rule to follow is the 70% rule. That kind of gives you an idea if a lender will want to do that deal.
30% money
Yeah.
to make for him. If things
A hard money lender is in that game, right, where at the end of the day, they don't want you to pay because they want your deal, right? So yeah, you're paying a higher interest rate or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's all about risk. So they want to make sure the deal is worth it, and God forbid you don't pay, they can make money on the deal.
Yo, there is like I got a homie, DJ Christian in the Tampa area who, he's been flipping houses for 10 years now, and he always would tell me there's like little things when you flip a house, like it could go down to the color of the door. Like what are some of the like random little like things that people don't think about? Let's say if they're rehabbing a house to flip, or if they're just rehabbing a house to add some value to their own property. Like what are some of those like hacks that you always make sure your houses have?
Well, when it comes to different properties, right, and rental properties,
Yeah.
I only go into the properties when I do my walkthrough to make sure that it's worth it before my contractors go in there,
Right.
and kind of tell them. But we already have a system in place where I don't have to be there or even talk to my guys anymore. They pretty much know everything that you have to do, because the problem is with these properties, right? At the end of the day, you want to make money.
Yeah.
My first property that I purchased to flip, this was a flip property. I went in there, I wanted everything designer, the paint, this. I went crazy with it. I want to do this, I want to do that. The nicest thing, everything nice.
Yeah.
It was a 3-family that I was flipping at the time, and 2 of the units I had tenants in them.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my wife arguing about fixtures,
Right.
this, that, right? Nightmare. And then I go back to the property. I ended up having to evict somebody, right, in that unit. And in 6 months, I sold the whole thing, right? And I'm like, yo, all this headache, picking all these nice
And they
things,
fucked it
for
up.
what? Now with me, it's just a system, right? I buy everything in bulk. All my apartments, all the buildings, the same colors, the same floors, everything. And then it's just automatic. I don't even have to think about it. My guys don't got to think about it.
So once you identify that system, it makes everything so much easier.
Yep.
Because it's like you're scaling. Just we know what our
Yeah.
because I mean, right now there's obviously a shortage on a lot of supplies and stuff. Has that made things like a little more difficult for you, or is it just you just got to pay more?
Yeah. You just got to pay more.
Yeah.
You know, for me, on the rental side of the business, it doesn't affect me, right? Because I'm paying more for material, but I'm making more on the rent.
On the rent, yeah.
Right. And before, even wood, all the other stuff, wire, whatever it was, it didn't really matter because the values went up so high after COVID, right? So you were still making that money up anyway.
Right.
Now it's a little different, but again, the market right now, the values have not got down yet, right? It's probably not going to happen for another. You're probably looking at another
about a year.
Yeah, about another year,
right?
Before you really see a big change, right? Especially in the tri-state area where we are, like values are insane.
Yeah,
like we're still getting 5-10 offers on a property.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it hasn't changed yet. Maybe eventually it will, but again, you don't know what could happen a year from now.